What's up YouTube, Julian Cloudy here again with another Zwift video, again Crit City and also again Cat B. Of course I'll try to win this race just as I tried last time though I didn't make it, finished second place. I pretty much ran the exact same setup as last time. I'll quickly show you that again, but if you're interested a little bit more into detail in the last video. Virtual bike setup wise, I ran the same setup as last time, the Focus Isalco Max frame and the DT Swiss Arc 1100 wheels. I quite like the setup, and at the same time I don't have anything else. Jumping into the companion app here, the Bell Lab Crit City race. This time around though I know that the Bell Lab is the reverse route, so the same as last time, Cat B again, and 67 people currently signed up. Approaching the start of the race here, just as last time, I get the watts up quite a bit, works pretty well, just as everybody does in Zwift. The usual start, the group is being separated quite a bit early on, but it's going to change pretty fast here. Again, I will cut some parts, I will fasten up some parts, I will not show the full race here. First lap though, I will show you the start here. I approached this race just as I did last time with almost no plan, but I had one thing in mind that I wanted to do this race, and that's use the items more often and maybe a bit smarter, as last time I only used one item because I didn't know that I would get a new item every time I passed the finish line. This time around though I knew that, and so I used the items. Receiving the first item of the race here, I get this ghosty invisible kind of thingy, which seemed pretty useless to me as I was not planning on breaking away from the group, especially in the first lap. So I just popped that or used that right away. I mean, could have maybe used it at some other point of the track. I just used it on the bumps here, but really would not have changed anything, I guess. Just hope for the next item to be a better one, or in general just hope to get that one item, which seemed good for me. I was hoping for the Arrow helmet, and if I receive that, I'll use it in the last lap, although it would come a bit differently here. I'll show you that soon. So right here I received the second item of the race, which actually is the Arrow helmet I just talked about, and basically the item I've wanted just a bit early into the race, second lap, which basically made me unable to use any other item from now on, if I was not to use the Arrow helmet, which was my plan. So I just stick with the helmet and kept on racing. At this point of the race, you can see that guys up front, they start to break away a bit. I realized that, so you can see me putting up the watts, putting in a bit of an effort and catching this group right here, but didn't really have a look on the map up top right and didn't realize that there are some other guys still up ahead. So I stick with this group right here, and the other guys are able to break away a bit. So I start to realize that right here, and I'm also starting to think hard, what am I going to do? Am I going to sprint? Will I use the Arrow helmet now? Will I waste the item? Do I still need it? What is the group going to do? But at the same time the group catches me, so I decide to just ride a wave here as I fall back a bit even here. And basically what I did now, or what I thought now, was stay with the group and kind of yo-yo out of the group, which is like falling back a bit and just pushing through using the slipstream at the wavy or the bumpy parts, as I knew that this was kind of a strong part for me. And as we were not able to catch up significantly here, we were pretty much keeping the same distance. I also decided that I will drop the aero helmet. So we passed the finish line here. I'm in a pretty good spot in the group, but somehow I get up to the front of the group, which was not my plan, as I wanted to kind of yo-yo through the group, as I've said, but I had to start the push here, or that's what I thought. So I dropped the helmet and I put in some serious effort for kind of a mid-race sprint and try to catch up the guys here, which works pretty well. I can see catching up. Some guys behind me seem to follow up, and I'm with the group again, even with too much power here, I guess, right up the front, able to drop back. But as you can see on the map, the other group has also caught up, and that of course is about as annoying as it gets. You can see the group is almost completely together again, so my effort was pretty much useless, and I kind of regretted doing the sprint. But then again, maybe if I didn't sprint and some other guys went off, I would have been stuck back behind. So better safe than sorry, I guess, and just keeping up, pushing throughout the race. Passing the finish line again, and now we're into the last lap, and I'm also receiving my last item. I get the burrito, which is decent, I guess. Not the aero helmet, which really was the item I wanted, but for an attack the burrito is going to be pretty good. Also, I think because it makes you undraftable, so I was thinking about starting the sprint a bit earlier than everyone else whilst dropping the items, so nobody would be able to react. That was my theory, and yeah, you'll see if that worked or not. A little jump here further up the race, or further up the last lap. You can see two guys are pushing harder than everyone else. They go off up a bit from the front on. I'm at 187, 188 BPM. My heart rate is pretty high. That's not perfect to be able to fully sprint and start the final part of the race, or that's what I thought at least. At the same time, just a day before this race, I raced a Cat A race, mainly because Cat B was almost empty. Nobody else has joined the race, so I was already a bit exhausted, but I still wanted to do this race. Did not affect me a lot throughout the race so far, but definitely was going to affect me in the final sprint. And now 470 watts, 191 BPM, so you can see I'm already quite on the edge. And now I have to think, what am I going to do? Some guys are up ahead, some guys already using their items. And my plan was, of course, to use the burrito a bit earlier than everyone else and just started sprinting. So that's what I'm going to do here. Dropping this thing, biting my teeth, pushing hard. But you can see the power is not quite there, 1000 watts. Last time I had a bit more power than that. This guy comes around with the aero helmet, basically the item I've wanted. I see that, I see him passing, still having the item. I get kind of frustrated mid-race, too close to the finish line, and I stop pedaling already, which is something I would normally never do. You know, I will always pedal till the finish line, but just didn't do it here. Was basically mentally down. But yeah, it's cool, that's racing, that's awesome, that's great. It has been a lot of fun again, and of course I want to keep pushing. Still, of course, happy with second place, but again, could not make it on the final sprint. Annoying, but still happy. A lot of things to learn. I'll definitely push even more, because I want to be the guy that just wins the race on the final sprint. I want to be there, and that's what I'm going to push for. But at the same time, I've got ranked into another category here, Cat A from now on, which is going to make it even harder for me to win a race. Because my plan was, of course, to first win a race in Cat B before going to Cat A. I'll, see what I'm going to do now. Super happy though, of course, and I want to thank you guys for your feedback on the last video I did, which came online last week. It was amazing. You guys enjoyed it a lot, and I enjoyed it too. So I did it again right here. Hope you like this one just as much as you liked last one, and see you guys in the next video.